Everybody's here. Good. Good evening and welcome to the Ogden City Council special meeting for December 8th, 2015. We appreciate your presence here tonight. We've got a exciting agenda for us. Let the roll call reflect that all council members are present with the exceptions of Councilmember Wicks, who is at another location right now, should be joining us shortly. We don't know exactly when. We'll ask Vice Chair White if she would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. I did fail to recognize Councilmember-elect Ben Nadolski, who is also with us tonight. And we have the Weber State debate team and Dr. Guevara that from Weber State also. Appreciate them and their part in tonight's agenda. The first item on our agenda tonight is public hearings. There are 4. The first is police officer salary schedule and public safety pay plan.
Sean Choate will be making her first presentation before the council.
All right. Welcome.
Chair Heyer, members of the City Council, Mayor Caldwell, Mr. Johnson. Thank you for allowing me to present this ordinance to you tonight. Before you is proposed ordinance 2015-50, which implements the joint resolution adopted by you and the mayor in September of this year. The intent of the joint resolution and this proposed ordinance is to address the challenges that we currently face in hiring and retaining police officers by implementing a step pay plan which is competitive within the market. If adopted, police personnel will then advance annually 1 step in the salary range for each year of service, assuming that they meet their performance standards. The specific language change in the Ogden City Code can be found in Section 2-6-9 under Classification and Pay Plans. The new step plan and salary schedule will be implemented for police effective the payroll date that includes January 1st, 2016. This ordinance also addresses the need to go back to a step plan for sworn fire, and the administration anticipates that will be presented to you with the FY17 budget.
All right. Thank you. Is there any questions for Ms. Choate? I do have one. As the employee group representatives weighed in and they're all good and everybody's happy?
Yep, it's my understanding that everybody's happy. The openings that we had and the employees who had applied for positions elsewhere, they've removed their applications, so it has helped. So we appreciate
Fabulous.
that.
Thank you. That is very good news. Thank you. All right. This is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to address this petition, now would be the time.
Seems there's no movement. I'll make a motion that we adopt proposed ordinance 2015-50.
We do need to close public hearing first.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing on this issue.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Garner, seconded by Councilmember Gochner to close public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
And now I'll make a motion that we adopt proposed ordinance 2015-50.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Garner, seconded by Councilmember Gochner again, to adopt ordinance 2015-50. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Blair. Aye. Councilmember Gardner.
Aye.
Councilmember Gochner.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens.
Aye.
Councilmember Wicks is not here. Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye, that passes. Okay, the next item is a public hearing concerning fiscal year 2016 budget amendment, police officers' pay increases.
Camille Cook will be making that presentation.
Welcome, Ms. Cook.
Thank you. Chair, Vice Chair, and council members, it's a pleasure to be with you this evening. In conjunction with the ordinance that you just approved for the salary schedule and pay plan, we are proposing to appropriate $475,000 from the unrestricted fund balance. This allows for the funding of the wage adjustments needed to align the sworn police personnel with the step plan that was just approved. Working with Human Resources, we have come up with the budget estimate of the $475,000, and that will cover these positions from January 1st until June 30th of 2016. Do you have any questions on the proposed budget amendment?
Any questions for Ms. Cook? Thank you.
Thank you.
This also is a public hearing. If anyone wishes to address this petition or this item, now would be the time.
Seeing no
Seems there-
movement, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Gochner, seconded by Councilmember Garner to close public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
And if there's no further discussion, I will make a motion that we adopt proposed ordinance 2015-55.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Gochner, seconded by Councilmember Stevens to adopt ordinance 2015-55. This also is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Gardner.
Aye.
Councilmember Gochner.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens.
Aye.
Councilmember Blair.
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye. That also passes. Next item is a public hearing concerning mid-year fee amendments for Marshall White Center.
Lisa Stout will be making that presentation.
Thank you.
I think we've got everybody.
Welcome, Ms. Stout.
Thank you, Chair Heyer, council members. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. The mid-year fee increases, we only have one proposed fee increase from Marshall White Center. They have done a comparison of surrounding pools, and they are proposing a membership fee for open access to the pools for a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 1-year membership for an individual, a family, and then an additional family member. The individual is proposed for 3 months at $30, for 6 months at $35, and for 1 year at $95. For a family of 4, it is proposed that a 3-month pass is available for $60. For a 6-month pass for a family of 4, $110, and then for 1 year, $205. It is unknown at this time what the fiscal impact will be until until you enact this fee and they see what the demand is. It is unknown, but that revenue would go against the Marshall White fee expenses, Marshall White Center expenses. Do you have any questions regarding this?
Any questions for Ms. Stout?
No questions, but just a comment, just to thank you for your work on this, and I hope people will take advantage of it, so.
Have they got some kind of a remedy worked out to where they can make sure that people are doing what
Yes,
they're
it's
paying
wet
for?
hair.
You're gonna
It's
police
wet
it?
hair.
Okay, it's the wet hair deal. Okay. All right, that might do it. All right, thank you. All right, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone that wishes to address this item, now would be the time.
Seems there's no movement. I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing for this issue.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Garner, seconded by Councilmember Blair to close the public hearing. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
And with that, I'll make a motion that we adopt proposed ordinance 2015-51.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Garner, seconded by Councilmember Gochner to adopt ordinance 2015-51. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Gochner.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens.
Aye.
Councilmember Blair.
Aye.
Councilmember Gardner.
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
That also passes. Next item is public hearing concerning fiscal year 2016 budget amendment, miscellaneous.
Lisa Stout will be making this presentation also.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I should have just brought my papers. The amendment that you have before you is to increase the budget in the general city by $258,325. This will allow the city to appropriate sales revenue from the sale of a vacant lot of $248,000 for transfer to the RDA, so it may be used for the purchase of property in the RDA. Additionally, we are appropriating some money out of the critical contingency, the general facilities. We're appropriating money to the general facilities out of the critical contingency fund in the amount of $33,000. And finally, we are recognizing some revenue received from a grant the city has received in the amount of $10,325. Do you have any questions regarding this budget opening?
Any questions for Lisa? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This also is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to discuss this item, please come forward.
Since there's no movement, I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Garner, second by Councilmember Blair to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
And with that, I'll make a motion that we adopt proposed ordinance 2015-56.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Garner, second by Councilmember Blair to adopt ordinance 2015-56. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Stevens,
Aye.
Councilmember Blair,
Aye.
Councilmember Gardner,
Aye.
Councilmember Gochner,
Aye.
Vice Chair White,
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye. That passes. Next item is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding your concerns or ideas. Please state your name and address clearly for the record. Limit your comments to 3 minutes. This could be about anything. Welcome.
My name is Terry Wayne. I live at 309 South, 1200 West, buried at Slaterville. A year ago, I came before the council here to talk to them about the construction that was going on over at the Mayfair warehouse on BDO, and the fact that the contractor was working 24 hours a day on that particular facility. And at that time, again, I called the mayor's office and complained about it. Rather than calling me back, he went ahead and gave the variance for them to continue working 24 hours a day. I asked at that time that the council look into coming up with a plan so we didn't have that happening anymore. They said that the reason why they were doing it was because the lease had been let so late and that it was urgent that they get the work done before the cold weather hit. And what's happened is the plan has basically come down to the variances have continued and up to this day. In fact, I think it was renewed on November the 1st. And again, that construction wasn't supposed to affect the neighbors, wasn't supposed to affect the nature center. And again, we're seeing animals come across the street in droves. Again, I want to know how the city's going to address this. I don't think it's reasonable to be pouring concrete at 2 o'clock in the morning and disturbing the entire neighborhood. I know we're across the fence, but I don't think it's a reasonable and neighborly thing to be doing. So I would like the council to figure out some way to stop this, because as far as I can see, it's just going to continue and it's going to keep coming my direction.
Okay. Sounds like you've already spoken with administration concerning this. Sounds like something maybe we ought to bring up as a council.
They never responded. I mean, it's one thing for me to complain, but it's one thing for them to do nothing other than to continue on.
We will look into that. Thank you for bringing that up.
All right.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? All right. Comments from our mayor.
I'd like to address that really quickly. We did work hand in hand with Blake Whalen and identified a whole bunch of different things we could do to mitigate that. So I'm happy to prepare a report and let you know what we've done. It was of concern to us, and I'm more than happy to present that information. So I apologize for that, and I can certainly put together the list that talks about what we've done to address that. So I apologize for the inconvenience, and we'll readdress it again. Also want to thank our department directors, our human resources department, and our finance team for working so hard on the fix we had with our police department. This was a great heavy lift from a lot of people, and I appreciate them all working so hard to address it. As Emerson said, what you do speaks so loudly I cannot hear what you say, and we always say that we want to appreciate and support those guys that do this very difficult job, and what you've done today, I think, really shows that support. And so I want to thank you as a council as well. This has been a unique situation, and you guys all stepped up and have worked hard to address this and do what was needed to be done, what was well-deserved. But it was a difficult thing to put together, and so I appreciate you guys all coming to the table and being willing to talk through ways we can address it. So I think it's a great day for our police department, and we look forward to some of the others coming down the pipeline.
All right, thanks, Mayor. Council members, any comments?
Just to echo what the mayor says, I have the highest regard for Chief Ashman and his team, and for the officers who are currently working in our city to protect our citizens and to do what they can to meet the needs. And I have the highest regard for you guys, and truly appreciate all that you do.
And I just have one quick comment. Councilmember Wicks didn't join us. She's over at the Weber Planning Commission meeting, which they are talking about some sort of permit for the Waterfall Canyon property. And I would just encourage Ogden City to look into a referendum for open space. And the last thing I'll say about it is that Salt Lake County passed an open space bond. It was for $46 million. $23 million went to parks. $23 million was for open space, and nothing was designated. There were no open space parcels designated. All the emphasis was on a really strong process for the application. So, just saying.
Thank you. I also wanted to say that it's a happy day for our police officers. And consequently, a happy day for them is a happy day for us. It pleases me immensely that we can do this, that we can reward our officers that serve us. This is not a job that you choose to get rich or to get fame or anything like that. And I appreciate what they do. It's nice to be able to have them sleep a little easier, not having to worry about those kind of things. The culture in our nation right now being so tough with police officers. I mean, it's just tough to be a police officer right now. And this was just one step to give the honor and the respect that we owe our police officers, and I'm glad we were able to do that. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Blair, seconded by Councilmember Garner to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Just as a reminder, there will be a redevelopment agency meeting immediately following this special city council meeting.